All right, so y'all, this is a homework problem out of 2.2, and it says use either numerical or graphical evidence to determine the limits. Okay, so I want you to look what we're trying to find here. This one here says we're looking of the limit as x approaches -4 from the left of the absolute value of 2x plus 8 over x plus 4. And then the second part is going to be what's the limit as x approaches -4 from the right. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do here, y'all, is I'm going to just draw like a kind of a simple graph here. So I'm going to look at something like this, right? Here's -1, -2, -3, and -4. And so for part A, we're trying to find the limit as x approaches -4 from the left of our function, which I want to say was the absolute value of 2x plus 8 over x plus 4, okay? So we're coming in from -4 from the left. We're coming in from this side, right? So say over here is -5. So we're going to pick numbers that are slightly smaller than -4. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab my calculator app, which is this one right here, okay? Y'all, this works the same way, like I said, like the TI-84 or whatever. So I have some functions here from before. Let me clear those out. Okay, so I want to do my absolute value. I believe the way I do my absolute value, if I go to my math button, let's see, there should be an absolute value. Usually there is. Here we go. Absolute value, 2x plus 8, okay, divided by, it was x plus 4, okay. All right, so now that we have that, I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, or maybe my down arrow, whatever. Okay, so let's quit that, and just like we did before, we're going to go to my y bars right here. I'm going to evaluate this one, and since we're coming in from -4, coming from the left-hand side, I want you to think about the numbers that I'm going to be using. Numbers like -4.1, -4.01, -4.001, right? Those are the kind of numbers that I'm going to be using. All right, so let's try that. So let's take, oops, already have my parentheses, -4.1, and let's see what we're coming up with. I'm getting -2, okay? Let's try that again, but now let's put a 0 in there too. A 0 right here, there we go. Enter, I'm getting -2, right? And I'm going to take a wild guess that if I do this a third time, right, I'm still going to get -2. Okay, so then what I do here, I'm going to come back to my slide, right, my original question. So right here, I'm going to say my answer for the first part is going to be -2. Now, we're going to do part B, right? So part B says, what happens if we take the limit as x approaches -4 from the right-hand side of 2x plus 8 all over x plus 4? So now I'm coming in from this direction, right? So I want you to think about the numbers that I'm going to be picking. I'm going to pick numbers like -3.9, -3.99, right? Because I'm not quite yet at -4. So I can do the same thing, right? I can just do my, oops, sorry about that, get out of here. Second entry, okay, and let's just change this to a 3.9, right? And let's get rid of some of this other stuff here. We don't need that. We don't need that. Look, I'm coming up with a +2, right? Okay, so let's do this again. Second entry, and let's insert another 9 right there. And I'm going to guess that that's also going to be a +2. Okay, now when I come back over here and we do this, we know that for the second part, we are coming up with +2. But that's basically how we'd go about doing this problem, right? So what did we do? We used a numerical approach, right? You could do a graphical approach, all if you wanted to. And what I would tell you to do is if you come back over here, hit the graph button, and I'm going to have to probably adjust my windows. And I would have to do that. I don't remember how I would do it right now off the top of my head. But second window maybe. Yeah, so on my x minimum, I'm going to go say to -5. My x max, I can keep it at like say even -3 if I wanted to. My y minimum, my lowest y value, I would go -3, and my y max value, I'd go +3. And then I could come back and look at my graph, and you can see right here Here's the positive 2 that over here on the, kind of this side, and then here's the negative 2 down over here towards your, like the bottom left. So the graph is the part in the green, okay? The only thing this doesn't show me, y'all, is that there should be a hole in the middle, and it doesn't really show that little circle, but that's basically how I would do this too, right? So anywho, just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Y'all got any questions? Let me know. And actually, you know what? Before I do that, let's see if we can take a screenshot of this here. Just to show you something in regards to the graph. And let's pull this up here. Okay. So let's say we're done. All right. So remember, if I'm coming in from the left-hand side, what are my Y values going to hit? That negative 2. And let's go with blue. If I'm coming in from the right-hand side, what are my values going to hit? Positive 2. So this is another way you could go about doing it. This would just be graphically, okay?